Today we are doing our lesson over converting units, and this is part 2. So our goals of this video are to convert measurements using ratio reasoning and multiple steps. Before we start, I want to remind you how we convert different units, okay, that is just one step. So for this one, remember that you start with what it wants you to convert, and we are going from feet to yards. And so we want our feet to cancel, so I'm going to put feet on the bottom of my conversion factor, yards on the top. And they're telling me that 3 feet is the same as 1 yard. Remember that you put that over 1, you multiply 20 times 1, which is 20, 1 times 3, which is 3, and then you simplify. So I know that 3 goes into 20 6 times, okay, which is 18, which means there are 2 out of 3 left over. So 20 feet is the same thing as 6 2/3 yards. So remember in the last video we talked about using dimensional analysis to convert our units, and we're going to continue to use that same process today. And we are going to first start by going from seconds, and we are going to convert seconds into hours. And so I'm going to show you how to use those unit conversions. So here is practice problem number 1. So again, same process. I'm starting with what it wants me to convert, and that is seconds. So I'm going to put an SEC there, and I'm going to multiply that by the factor that's going to allow me to get rid of my seconds. And so I can see that seconds is the same thing here. 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute. Okay, so I'm going to cancel these, put this over 1, and I get 43,200 times 1 is 43,200. 1 times 60 is 60, and I'm going to simplify this. Because I do have a 0 in the numerator and a 0 in the denominator, they can cancel each other out. So I can think about this as 4,320 divided by 6. So I'm going to do some long division. 6 does not go into 4, but it goes into 43 7 times, which is 42. I have 1 left over. I bring that down. 6 goes into 12 2 times, which is 12. Bring down my 0, and 6 goes into 0 0 times. So that means that 720 minutes is the same thing as 43,200 seconds. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to convert that to hours. So that's why this is multi-step. And remember, I want my minutes to cancel. So I'm going to use this conversion here, 60 minutes times, and put my 1 hour on top. My minutes cancel. I'm doing 720 times 1, and then 1 times 60, and I'm going to divide that to give me my final answer in hours. So I can again take off my zeros, so I'm going to cross that out, and I know that 6 goes into 7 1 time, and 6 goes into 12 2 times, and my final answer is 12 hours. Great job. Okay, I challenge you to try this one. It's very similar to where you're going to go through that same multi-step process. This time I am starting with 4,800. Let me see if I can I can't make that go away. Sorry about that little mark. 4,800 inches. And I eventually need to get to meters. But before I can get to meters, I have to go to centimeters. So I'm going to multiply that by the conversion. Inches on bottom because I want them to cancel. 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So I'm multiplying 4,800 times 2.54. And 1 times 1 is 1. Now, I've already done this math, and it is a really big number, 12,192. That's centimeters. But now I have to go from centimeters to meters. So I'm going to start with my centimeters on top. I'm going to write my conversion so that centimeters cancels, which means 100 centimeters goes on the bottom, 1 meter goes on the top. So 12,192 times 1 on top, 1 times 100 on the bottom. And when you're dividing a number by a power of 10, that means that your decimal is going to be moving over however many zeros there are. So my final answer is 121.92 meters. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, go back and rewatch. Before you leave, make sure that you can convert measurements using ratio reasoning and multiple steps, and have a great day.